Tēnā koutou katoa, everyone, and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host, Mucky Hope, and once again, it's a Wednesday night, baby, and Wednesday nights are my favourite night of the week because I get to chat to one of the most amazing Australians I've ever had the pleasure of meeting and knowing. I wonder who that could be. Easily the Survivor Simp podcast. Welcome to the chat, No, I'm kidding. It's the amazing Michelle. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I've actually been thinking about you a lot today, actually, Michelle.
Jeez.
Because I was listening to a podcast this morning, right? About just like weird, creepy shit that's been like happening in the world. Like about people who like just randomly disappeared just out of thin air. Just like that. And I was like,
I like things like that.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to talk to you about it at some point. You know, and unfortunately we're not here to talk about that, but maybe there's something we should shoot up some point.
Well, maybe if it was a survivor that suddenly went missing, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. Can someone please like just kidnap a survivor player in the middle of the woods or something? You know?
Yeah, so we can talk about it. No.
Can you imagine that? Someone pretends to be like a member of production, like, hey, we just want to have an interview with you. Come with me. They sneak someone off.
Yeah.
Never see the player again.
No. Let's not talk about stuff like that.
No.
Don't want stuff like that happening.
But we're here to talk about season 1, the OG season of Australian Survivor. Now, for those who might be new to the series, which I'm pretty sure you already know the go, but I'd put together season rankings list from many other people as well, such as Michelle, Speaking Llama, Make It to Merge, Survivor Debrief, Useless Australian Survivor Facts, Cuppa Immunities, and of course our favorite AI content creator, Survivor Twists. And then I did a average based on everyone's rankings. And this season, Michelle, it was second to last or third to last. But I don't believe anyone had it any higher than second or third to last.
Now that I've dove into it, I don't think it should have been this low.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to be lower. But yeah, definitely not this low now. Now that I've been into it, I disagree with my own ranking.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely get into it, but I feel like we're starting to get into the batch of seasons where it's like, it's good. Like, is it great, the most phenomenal thing you've ever seen? Probably not, but it's not a bad season. It's actually pretty interesting, entertaining. Like, I do think there's one part of the season that it does kind of drag on for a bit, but it's nowhere near as horrendous as, like, how Blood vs. Water drags or how even, like, the opening, I guess, 2 weeks of Champions vs. Contenders, how that kind of drags on a bit. But, yeah, no, it's a great season. It's also my very first season of Survivor period as well. And as I say, you never forget your first. So I'm so excited that we're finally coming back to discuss the roots of how I got into Survivor.
Okay. Well, where do we start? Should we start with the cast?
Yes, we should. So I feel like it's a good cast.
Yeah, like I quite like the cast, and for me, 9 of them are standouts. Who I really remember, and some of them, well, one of them hasn't ever come back again, or maybe 2.
Yeah.
Craig. Sorry, why isn't Craig
stand out?
Seriously, Craig stand out. Obviously Phoebe and Nick. Love Kylie. Obviously, Brooke.
Yeah, like I think Kylie for me. I think as a personality, like, have you ever met Kylie in person before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, to me, she seems like just like a great all-round, like, great person, you know. But especially in the post-merge of the game, I found her quite frustrating, you know. But I'm sure we'll dive more deep into that once you start breaking up between pre-merge and post-merge. But who else on your list?
Brooke.
Brooke?
Sam.
Yeah, good one.
Sam stood out. Matt. Oh, I love Matt.
Matt was good. I did enjoy Matt. And actually, this might be a hot take, but I loved Sam Webb. I really like Sam this season. I do just want to make a formal apology. By the way, actually, well, first of all, I've got 2 apologies. One, I've actually got my window open because it's so bloody hot in my apartment right now.
God, so what kind of sin or plane or something are we going to hear?
Well, that's exactly it, right? There will be some shenanigans happening at some point during the podcast, but the other point you want to make is Nicky Danza, right?
Yeah,
the lovely Nick. The first time, this was my first season, right? When the whole Lee, Sam, and Kate stuff all came up, right? And they were like talking shit to Nick, like, bro, you're such a villain, this, that. I was like, yeah, fuck Nick, he's a villain, you know? Get him out, get Nick out. Then when I've rewatched the season, Nick hasn't even done anything villainous.
No.
He made up one small lie, which is a terrible lie. And then, like, it's almost like that scene from the Avengers when Hulk grabs, like, when grabs Loki, and he's just swinging him from, like, side to side and stuff like that. It's like that on poor Nick, with almost every person from the Yellow Tribe, Vaval, I believe, Sam, Lee, so many people just absolutely dog him in for something that's not even that bad. And I feel like I genuinely feel embarrassed that the first time I ever saw it, I was like, yeah, I'm on Sam and Lee and Kate's side. And looking back, it's like, oh my gosh, that was horrible. It was pretty dark, it was pretty horrible dark,
I loved Nick because he was a teacher and he got time off work to go and play Survivor for 55 days. And crazy. I just thought that was amazing at the time. I thought, he's got his passion. He's done it. And he was a teacher. So I loved that about him. So he won me over before he even started playing.
I mean, can you imagine just getting all that time off, just period, for any job? Like I struggled to get a month off.
Yeah, no, I can take literally nearly half a year off.
Oh my gosh.
I've accumulated so much long service leave.
So next time you complain about work, I'm like, yeah, but you can take half a year off,
Yeah. Well, I'm banking it up for the Amazing Race if they get me on the damn thing. Yeah. So, and obviously Flick and Christy are my last two.
Yeah. Well, I've got one player that you did not mention. The most iconic first boot of all time, Mr. Dez. I'm sorry, he's a bloody legend, Michelle. Right?
I've met him. I've met him. Yeah.
What's he like in person?
Hilarious. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's great. I loved him. He's like, I'm not really gonna help out with the shelter or anything. And he's just sitting there in the water, just watching them do it. And he's like, I'm like Kung Fu Panda. I'm gonna sneak up on him. It's like, bro, like, no, like that's not how you do anything. He loses the challenge, and all of a sudden, he can make an amazing shelter. He can do all these amazing things. Like, why did it take you 3 days to do these amazing things? And he's the first one to shout out at Tribal. It's like, hey, Kat, I'm voting for you. You can't get much better than that, Michelle. I'm just like, I love Dez. He is great.
Yeah. For his short and sweet stay in Survivor, he made an impact.
He definitely did. I mean, like, there's a lot of first boots that you like hardly remember, but you're never going to forget going by Dez. He's great, right?
Yeah, because sometimes I read through the cast and I'm like, okay, who is that?
Yeah.
No idea. Like the third boot, Evan Jones. I'm sorry, I can't even remember what he looks like. I'm sad. It's sad, but no idea. Whereas Peter Fegan, like he's known as Feegs in the Survivor community, and I remember him. He's fourth boot. So I don't know. People are more memorable than others.
Yeah. And just a comment here from Survivor Sim Podcast. It was awesome getting to meet you in Melbourne, by the way, bro, at Eden's watch party. Mucky, 9th. I don't know, man. I put it high. I'd be curious to hear this. Well, I mean, just right before we dive into, I guess, the nitty-gritties of everything that's happened, like across the season, I do think that there are some seasons above it that I would probably rank below this one just because the lows on that season is more of a bigger low than what season 1 goes through. But yeah, from here on out, they're all relatively pretty good seasons. So it's hard to exactly put what is where. You get what I mean? And so, but I guess...
I think exciting when Survivor finally came back, and it was actually a good production, and it was actually working for once, like not like the Channel 9 iteration of it. Yeah.
Well, Michelle, I'm very curious because the very first episode I actually ever watched of this season is the non-elimination round where Connor and Nick get swapped to the other tribe. That's the first episode I ever watched. And I'd love to hear from you, and I guess what the experience was like at the time. How was everyone's reactions to literally the first ever non-elimination?
Look, the fans hate when people are voted out and they don't actually leave. They hate if they go to exile, unless they're a favorite of the fan base. They hate going to the other tribe, and they hate going to exile or Redemption Rock or wherever they go. So yeah, there's a bit of a lashback about that. But you know what? I like Nick, so I was happy that it happened.
Yeah. And can I tell, what a crazy tribe as well for the blue tribe, Sanapu, I think their name was. Yeah. They almost went to rocks. First ever non-elimination, you know? It's like a war between like Connor and Flick. Connor's trying to throw Flick under the bus. Flick's trying to throw Connor under the bus because essentially for context, there's a 5-person alliance. However, Kylie's on the bottom as 6th. She's wearing an idol around her neck. So sort of like, shit, what do we do? Well, we got to go for each other, right? And yet they almost went to rocks in the first non-elimination. But I do think, Michelle, in terms of the grand scheme of non-eliminations, I do think that this is my favorite one, where you vote someone out and they go to the other tribe, because it's still a vote. I like that they weren't told about it, because also we've seen like heroes versus villains, even times versus rebels, where they find out before the vote, and so they're like, well, let's just do the easy one. Let's just send Jerry off. You get what I mean? Or let's just send Kelly to the other tribe, right? But like it literally made the season Nick getting blindsided and going to the other tribe. That was the big rivalry throughout the entire season.
Yeah, because people are voted out and then they have vengeance on their mind. They don't go. They're in the other tribe. They're spilling all the secrets. It's juicy. I mean, you like that sort of stuff as a viewer, as long as you're not a casual fan and you hate that stuff because they haven't left. But yeah, no, that sort of backlash is good.
Yeah. And I do want to talk about the Super Sinapu, the Super Tribe. So essentially, a tribe wins a reward challenge, and then they choose whether or not to split apart across 2 different tribes or to stay together and literally get to handpick their tribe. And so it was the Sanapu tribe at the time, which I think they were like one of the weakest tribes, I think, at the time, was just Flick, Brooke, Matt, Nick, and Kylie. And they chose Sam, Lee Castledine, Al, and Jenna Louise to join their tribe. I mean, what a stacked tribe. Like, how did this rank, I guess, in terms of Survivor twist for you? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
They chose well, didn't they? Like, that's a stacked tribe in many different ways, not just physically. So, I mean, I love any twists that don't penalize one person in particular. You know, as long as it's not a twist like a tribe swap where, you know, they swap and there's only one person from another tribe now on the new tribe and that they're obviously going to go. You know, I like any twist that's interesting and it actually adds to the game, not get someone voted out, you know? So I loved it.
Yeah. But what did you think about the decimation of the yellow tribe for pretty much the rest of the season? Now, to be fair, some of it was their fault. I think the Rowan versus Cat is one of the most stupidest things to ever happen, right? Where they're in a minority of 4, Rowan has an idol, so they kind of figure out that the votes are going on Phoebe, but Rowan's like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to vote for Cat. And Kat and Chrissy are like, you know what? No, I'm going to vote for Rowan, you know? And it's like they could have tied it 4-4. And like you're friends with Chrissy, Michelle. Has Chrissy ever told you why they voted for Rowan here and didn't join Phoebe to try to take out?
I have never asked her about that particular thing, but I can. And I can give the answer under the podcast link on one of the pages.
Awesome. Yeah. Make sure you check out Michelle's page on Australian Survivor fans on Facebook, and you'll find out the answer on why Chrissy voted out Rowan. Like, Michelle, like, I understand if you don't really get along with someone, but, like, you just ruined your chances. You've used up an idol. You've destroyed the chances of it being 4-4. Like, do you think that this was a huge mistake by Kat and Christy at the time?
Well, yeah, if you've got an alliance and you are 4-4, generally, but we've seen it happen so much. Generally, you shouldn't vote out anyone from your 4. But if they're annoying you so much that you can't cope with them, and you know you have connections on the other 4 and you can get in there and leave your other 2, then okay, do that. Mm-hmm. But it wouldn't matter how much someone would annoy me, I'd have to keep my 4. Unless I thought they were going to come for me the next round, or I'd heard that they were coming for me. Yeah, then they're gone. Yeah. Yeah,
I think something that definitely doesn't help is that Rowan and Kat, like, they 100% had a rivalry going into the tribe swap, right? But, like, you know, we've seen it with, like, George and Simon, with Ferris and Kirby. At what point do you be like, hey, look, let's just point the guns down. We're both heavily disadvantaged here. Let's just work together for 1, maybe 2 votes. But
yeah, I know. Yeah,
but then again, I would destroy my entire game just to make sure I got you out. You know, I don't care if I was next out.
You know what? There's so many people who are like you. I've got Jason Hafana, who doesn't listen to this, who would get me out at any point. And on online games, he tries to get me out. I've got Calvin Butler, who's an LRG guy from Melbourne, who always tries to vote me out of traders.
Okay.
I'm a trader every time. I've got many people like you.
Yeah.
My podcaster of Hunted, my podcast partner, would try and get me out of any game I try and play.
You got to bring us all. You got to bring us all together. We got to make like an anti-Michelle group. You know, anytime you play a game, it's like we're just going to spread this propaganda. Like, Michelle's already a millionaire. Why would you want her to win this online game of traders? You know.
I don't understand why you all want to bring me down, but you know what? I bring you all down. You'd just all be gone.
I don't know. We're going to wait and see about that. Yeah. You might have faced against many of these other podcasters, but you haven't versed me yet, Michelle. So
didn't we play a game together a couple of months ago? And I made it to 5th. And where did you go out?
Well, you see, I was playing with a legendary cast, you know. I came 8th, you know. Yeah.
I came 5th.
I mean, it's only 3 places difference.
Mind you, I didn't go against you. I didn't vote for you. So there you go.
Yeah. And then poor old Sam Smith, you know, another legend on our podcast. He was like the 3rd one out.
That's not good.
He was 3rd or 4th, and it was not good. He stayed in the same room the entire time. He didn't understand what he was supposed to do. Yeah. And poor Sam. But anyways, going straight back to the season. After Rowan gets voted out, which I still think is just absolutely ridiculous, we get one of the greatest underdog arcs in Australian Survivor history. We get Phoebe. She's on the bottom. She's scrapping her way through. She votes out Kat because Kat's very clearly not working with her. And somehow they turn the tide and they flip they flip Craig and Kate to blindside Andrew as well. Did you like that they actually flipped and didn't stay 5 strong? Or do you reckon it would have been smarter knowing that they're on a losing tribe to stay 5 strong?
I'd probably stay the 5 strong. I mean, why flip if you don't really have to? I made good TV and it made the game very interesting. But yeah, I like a boring way to the top, just so that you can get there. I don't need to make big moves. But a lot of people think they need to make big moves to actually have a resume at the end.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an interesting thing, right? Because I feel like the blindside on Andrew is very similar to why, like, I guess Kat and Rowan were going after each other straight away, right? It was like just personalities that just didn't really click or get along, you know? And so I do think, I mean, obviously it costed them, the next round, because then Phoebe plays an idol, which brilliant move. Phoebe, she gets Connor to tell her that the votes are going on her, and then she's just got the tears going. She gets Christy to bring the tears going and stuff, so they all feel so bad, all dump the votes on Phoebe, and then she whips out that idol and takes out Craig.
I mean, if you look at the cast, there's a lot of A-type personalities in there, and they're all vying for this. Some casts, they obviously have A-type personalities, but they don't have as many, and it's easier to manipulate people when they're not, A's. But looking at the cast, even looking at my 9 here that I loved, I'm like, geez, if you play a game with them now, it's
dangerous.
High stakes, yeah.
Yeah. And then we do get another non-elimination twist here where Brooke is able to pretty much steal a contestant from the tribe. Yes. She obviously picks Sue.
This is good.
It's a good twist, you reckon?
Well, if you can if you think someone on the other tribe is down the bottom, then that person will be indebted to you as long as you think they're that type of person that would. I mean, if I was saved off a tribe and went to another tribe, I'd be like, okay, you are mine now. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you're saved. I'd work with them. So
yeah,
if Brooke's chosen the right person, then it's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can all agree we all felt so bad for Phoebe that she wasn't chosen. I do think, obviously, GLP was his first ever season. He's trying to find his feet and stuff. He was like, so Phoebe, you played that idol to save yourself last night, but it's not the first idol you've played, like accidentally throwing her under the bus to Brooke. Like, why the hell would Brooke pick Phoebe? She's now a huge threat, you know what I mean? And so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do get the fall of Phoebe, who, she becomes one of the greatest legends, like heading into All-Stars as well. I'm curious to hear, obviously, Phoebe, she's a 2-time pre-merge player. Does that affect her as a player or a character overall, or do you think she's still up there with some of the greats?
I don't. It affects her as a character. Because it's her first season and she's out early, it sort of affects her a little bit. But she's got enough character in herself to overcome that, I think. Yeah. And she's quite endearing on screen. She grabs the screen. She's not someone that you easily forget. She's very... Yeah. I don't know. She's quite electric on screen.
Yeah.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I felt really bad for a lot of season 1 people. I felt really bad for an All-Stars. Obviously, Lee had to leave for his mum. Like, where the hell was Flick? Where was her screen time in edit? And like, poor Phoebe. Phoebe gets screwed over as well with a really bad swap. Nick, obviously, gets pretty screwed over with that swap too. Like,
that was annoying.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah. But then we head on through to the merge and we lose Connor, and I like Connor. Like he's, how do I describe it? I just really liked him throughout the season. He got voted out of Sanapu. He goes to the Yellow Tribe. Oh my gosh, we haven't talked about Mr. Barry yet. The man who needs no strategy. Where it's like, I'm not going to tell anyone who I'm going to vote for. I'm just going to put like,
oh my
draw
God.
a name out of a hat. We haven't talked about Mr. Bazza yet.
He wasn't alphabetizing them? Is that someone else? Who was the one who was voting out people in alphabetical order?
There was someone in Borneo,
US Survivor?
I think. Yeah, that was American Survivor.
Okay, all right. So it wasn't that.
No, but with Mr. Barry, he was like, I don't want to discuss any strategy. I just want to, just do my own thing. You do your own thing. And we'll see what happens, Nick got voted out over this guy. Crazy, right? And so,
definitely
once again,
crazy. Well,
another
he was seen
legend.
as a threat. He was seen as a threat, so that's why he went out over that guy. Because that guy's not a threat at all.
See, we need Mr. Dez to come back on the villains tribe and Mr. Barry to come back on the heroes tribe. Like, literally, Barry didn't betray anyone. He couldn't. He didn't even want to discuss any strategy. You know? Ultimate hero. He's more of a hero than Tarzan and Kara.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I could see your mind starting to twirl like,
I know.
Is Mucky just talking shit? Or
sorry, yeah. How can anyone surpass Tarzan? I don't think that's possible.
Yeah. By literally discussing no strategy with anyone, you know?
Yeah.
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 But no, I liked Connor a lot, you know. I think we have so many other great like characters and players, and that's why we haven't seen him like come back yet. But yeah, I thought he was great. I liked him. And then we lose Kate here as well, where she almost died in like a boating accident or something like that. You know, that's her sort of story. Yeah. And I mean, what did you think about because I think Australian Survivor was the first to do it, a 13-person merge, but the first 2 people do not make the jury.
I don't like when there's a merge and the people who are voted out don't make jury. And they've done that in America, or they've done, what have they done in recent seasons where they merge, but they don't get their merge buff? Like they merge for a day, they do stuff, and then they get their buff later on. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Jeff? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I know in the past
it like lifts people up. Oh, I made merge, I'll make jury, and then they don't. It just why do you need to disappoint people?
I know that they've done like 12-person merges, right? Where it's hard because if you do a final 3 and it's a 9-person jury, what happens if you get like a 3-3 tie at the end, right? Or same as like a final 2, a 5-5 tie. You get what I mean? Like what happens there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but like for a 13, yeah. Well, except for Dominic and Wendell, but there was a 10-person jury and a final 3, right? Which once again, jury started at 13, right? So you do final 3, 10-person jury, final 2, 11-person jury. The more jury votes, the better. More chances to win, right? So
if they're on your side, yeah.
Yeah, well, more opportunities, I guess I should, rephrase that.
More opportunities to get more votes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And just one moment that I do really love about the season, because obviously the stuff between Sam and Nick got pretty nasty out there. And like, I don't think Sam had probably seen much Survivor before, but when JLP is talking about the jury and, how the jury will decide everything at the end, it just cuts to Nick just like lifting his eyebrows up, like, yeah, that's right, I made jury. And Sam's just like, oh, shit. Because they're about to vote poor Nick out.
Yeah, just made it. Yeah.
And, we do get, I feel like after Nick goes, that's sort of where we get like the slow segment, I guess, right? Which I feel like people might think it lasts longer than what it actually does, right? Because we get the final 10. So pretty much how the alliances break down, right? So you got Brooke, Flick, and Al, who are like the main trio, right? Yeah. And then they've got Sam and Lee as their main 4th and 5th, but they also have options with like Matt as like a secret thing. You get what I mean? They've got like Kylie in there, but Kylie's more towards the bottom. And right at the very bottom, you've got Sue, Christy, and Jenna Louise, who are like the main 3.
Yeah.
On the bottom. And something that I do actually quite like as a twist idea is by splitting people up, right? Not the same with like American Survivor. I used to like the twist, but now they've overdone it where you get 2 groups of 5, 1 person in each group wins immunity, you vote someone out from that 5. But I like the idea of you split everyone up 5 and 5 into 2 separate camps, but then they come back to tribal together, and it's like a regular vote. But like you've now got 2 separate like plans of 5, plans within the plans, and now you have to try and communicate them with each other and stuff. I definitely did think that twist.
If it's a good one, like the old days where you can't get up and start chatting to each other, then yes, it's very interesting. But nowadays, they just all get up and talk to each other anyway. They'd have a plan with their 5, but it wouldn't be set in stone because they'd all talk at tribal council.
Exactly,
It would be good if once in a while they'd say this tribal council is a silent tribal council. You can only respond to David and he can only talk to you. That'd be good.
That would be pretty funny. Like, imagine making like a super cut or like an edit of the Fraser Tribal Council, but you just cut out all the talking or the whispering. So you just leave in all the small answers. Then, Simon wins immunity. You cut out all the talking, and then it's just George waving his idol around his head with like no context. That would be pretty funny.
Yeah,
but yeah. But then we get the greatest thing that's ever come to Australian Survivor, Michelle. Sue's big move. Watch out, everyone! It's Sue's big move. She comes in, and the big move, which isn't even like, it's not even created by Sue, which I find really funny. It's created by Jen and Louise. Their plan, because basically the target was Jen and Louise, but she wins immunity. So now the alliance was to take out Sue, and they're going to split the votes on Christy. And Jen and Louise and Sue's plan is, hang on a minute, why don't we put our 2 votes on Christy, and maybe Christy will accidentally get voted out instead of Sue. That is the big move. That is the legendary Sue's big move. That's become one of the greatest moves.
It's just voting. There's no move there though. It's just
Yeah.
Not a move.
But like,
why is it Brendan on here to talk about Sue's big move?
Yeah, I know. We need him to defend Sue's big move and why it's the greatest thing that ever has existed. I do think in terms of like ads and stuff, I feel like Australian Survivor has definitely followed, not necessarily making Sue's big move, but you go at one point they're like, one of these 5 players will get blindsided, you know? And it was like, I think at one point it was like Phoebe, David, Matt,
John, and they're all standing there in a triangle in the picture. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and then it's like, here comes the greatest tribal. It is the biggest move. I definitely feel like they have followed that format because I think Sue's big move was such a great. I mean, I wasn't there, obviously, seeing everything online live. How did the general public respond to Sue's big move?
They thought it wasn't a big move. Didn't think it was, and that's why it's still being talked about now as a joke.
Yeah,
because there was no big move. It was just a move. Nothing big about it.
But it's a move that didn't even work out.
Yeah,
you know.
But even if it did work out, it's still a move. It's not a big move.
Do you think that we should get Sue to come back? You know, like
no.
Why do you not want Sue to come back?
Because you know what? Everyone will be waiting for a big move, and she won't do it again. She'll let us down again, and we can't take that disappointment twice.
Well, I feel like that'll be the funniest thing. It's like, all right, everyone settle, just wait, and then every time Sue comes on camera, just wait, guys. And then she'll like come on camera. It's like, I think it's time for a move. Oh my gosh! You know, the crowd would be wild.
Could you imagine the ads tonight? Is Sue's big move, and we'll all
tonight.
Hundreds of thousands of people watching, just waiting for this to happen.
This move has been waiting. It's been fostering. It's been developing for over 10 years. Buckle in. It is Sue's big move. But can you imagine, though, if we get another
I can't imagine, actually. I can't imagine how she would pull one off.
But, like, what if she makes, like, a Fraser-level blindside? Or maybe she gets, like, revenge on Nick the same way that David got revenge on Daisy. Something, like, outlandish, crazy, out of this world.
Or making a fake idol and giving it to someone. That's a good move.
That is a big move. Imagine, right, we get like a new fan. Let's say Kirby comes back, right? And this is Kirby season 2 win, and Sue plants a fake idol. Kirby thinks it's a real idol, and that's what takes Kirby out of the game. Sue's big move.
Well, there you have it. Pity it's just fictional and not ever going to happen. because Sue going up against Kirby, Sue's gone.
I reckon Kirby's gone. I reckon she's absolutely cooked if she goes up against Sue. It's Sue's big move. You never know what's going to happen next, Michelle.
I need someone to help me. I need someone to come on.
Well, I mean, we can quickly move on to the next player who did get voted out, which is Jenna Louise, which I'm pretty surprised that we haven't seen her come back yet. You know, she was an underdog for quite a while. She was brought onto the Super Sanapi tribe as someone to just vote out because they wanted to weaken Craig, right? And she makes all the way to 8th. Yeah. I
liked her. I mean, she didn't stand out as a huge player, but obviously she got far enough to play well enough. So I liked her as a person. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we finally get the big move of the season.
Yes.
Where Flick stabs her best mate Brooke in the back. And it's a tricky one because I understand why Flick did it, right? Because Brooke's really tight with Sam. You know, Sam is really tight with Matt and stuff. Like, Flick's main connection, I feel like, was Brooke, right? And I think Brooke will easily win in any challenge against Flick, right? And so I understand why Flick turned against Brooke here, but I think what she missed, which I think this is partially due to Christy, though. One for what I will kind of give Christy, but I mean, to be fair, you know, Christy won, so it's not really a flaw, right? But you needed to flip straight back to Sam and Matt, in my opinion, to then take out Ellen Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think, though? It's the huge blindside on Brooke.
Flick got a lot of hate mail over this.
Oh, probably.
And she actually got death threats.
I mean, this Australian Survivor. It's no surprises, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the first season back.
True.
You know, obviously there was a lot of fans who didn't really know the game because they maybe didn't watch the ones way back in 2002, 4. And, you know, they might not have watched US Survivor. So they don't understand that sometimes you do vote out your alliance member. And people couldn't cope with that. And it was huge online. There was so much hate.
Yeah.
It was really sad for Flick. And Flick is a very sensitive person. And it really hit her hard, and it was awful.
Yeah, Flick is genuinely one of my favorite Australian Survivor players of all time. Like, she's in my top 5, right? And I think for me the biggest disappointment of All Stars was not seeing enough of Flick. Right, she comes in, she's all over the promo, she's everywhere, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get Flick versus Brooke. Flick's here with David, with AK and stuff. I still remember. I think I have to quickly bring it up really quick. It was on I made a private account because I was in my late years of high school. Now, oh my gosh, All Stars came out when I had just left high school. Can you believe that?
I actually remember Flick's promo for All Stars. Really, at the front of my mind. I was so excited she was back, and then she wasn't given a purple edit, but it wasn't great. Yeah,
and I mean, because on top of that, from what I remember, especially about All Stars, is that also I just realized I can't show you the post I made on my private account because I've logged out of it, so I can't go back in, and the account is locked, so I can't. I can't show you the post, but literally, I made a whole post just about how excited I am to see Flick and David on the same tribe.
Aww.
And Phoebe. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You know? But from what I remember through interviews, Flick figured out that David was the mole. Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll have to go back and re-listen to them, but I'm pretty certain that Flick remembers that David was the mole and stuff, and she was onto him, and she was pretty huge and on the strategy, but just wasn't showing anything. So I'm really sad to hear the Flick copped so much hate.
We'll get up to that when we get to that season.
True, we definitely will. And then we get, when I think about the worst non-elimination episodes, this is definitely one of them. So basically, after this huge dramatic tribal council, the whole game is flipped on his head. Sam and Matt are on the bottom. You know, they're trying to get Flick and Christy to flip over. Flick is keen, Christy isn't. And what happens? They get an award challenge, right? Where Matt wins it, right? For some kind of like spa treat kind of thing. But they go to tribal council to do, it's like, I don't know what the challenge is called, but I think it's touchy subjects, is it? Where you got to like answer a whole bunch of questions and like chop someone's thing.
Oh, yeah, it might have been that.
Yeah.
Well,
and
it's called that. It depends what they do, what the questions are. I don't know. It's only if it's about the other tribe mates, if it's touchy subjects.
I think it was about like just like the game so far, and I think about each other a wee bit as well. Something that was really funny is that Matt came very close to winning it again. Imagine if he won the award challenge like twice, literally back to back. That would have been pretty funny. But no, we get Matt, Flick, and Christy all go out to the spa retreat thing. But Sam, Lee, and Al, who are currently, butting heads quite a bit, all go to exile. Which then, straight after this, we get another reward challenge for a advantage in the immunity challenge. So we get 3 reward challenges back to back to back.
Which is good. It's unheard of now to get 3 reward challenges without an immunity challenge in between. Yeah.
And only 2 of them were in the same episode. So we went to the next episode, starting it off with another reward challenge.
Amazing.
Great.
Yeah, those were the days. They don't do that anymore.
Those were the good old days. Now we just get bloody you go to that tribe, you go to that tribe, Redemption Rock. There's some stuff in urns. Why not? But 3 but 3 reward challenges. Oh gosh. Way back in my day, we had 3 reward challenges, But it all pretty much comes to nothing because Lee's got a block of vote advantage. He blocks Sam's vote. Flick can't flip because Christy won't flip. And then Sam goes out. And something that I completely forgot happened, Michelle, is in the final 5, Christy's like, yeah, I think we should flip against Lee and Al. So Flick and Christy decide to tell Al, hey, buddy, just to let you know, we're going to have to flip on you. Why would you do that? Why would you tell your friend? It's like, hey, Michelle. To be fair, I would tell you that. Hey, Michelle, I just want to let you know I'm going to be voting you up tonight. Not because I'm being sincere, just because I want to be an asshole. This.
Actually,
but this was sincere.
Yeah, but when I played Sydney Survivor, I think with the 5th, we had 5 left. I think I actually did tell someone who wasn't in my alliance, but I did tell him because he said, please tell me. I said, you are next out, unless you can do something about this.
Okay.
And he was grateful that I did tell him. I don't know why you'd be grateful, but yeah. So some people do that. But if it's supposed to be a secret, no, don't do it.
It was pretty fun. Still to this day, probably the best memory I have of the game that I did was I was in a room with Ryan V. Brink and good old cheeky dirty Harry himself. I was like, all right, Harry, what's the plan? And he said, I'm getting rid of a podcaster. And at the time, there was only 3 podcasters, myself, Ryan, and Shane and Gus. And I was like, oh, shit, well, which one are you going for? It's like, well, you. I was like, well, if you just don't mind me. And I just left for
Was that Harry?
Yeah, that was Harry. He just told me straight to my face. I mean, I did get voted out that night, so great job, Harry. But yeah, it was so funny. But and then we get the final 4 where Flick's like Christy is literally us against Lee and Al, literally the challenge base of the season. They both won 3 challenges each, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
And Christy still says, no, I'm going to back myself and win that final immunity challenge. And she does it. She wins that final immunity against Lee and Al. I mean, How was this watching it live?
What happened with the Flick thing? I can't remember. Why did Flick get voted out?
Flick got voted out just because she told Elle to her face that she was going to vote for her with Matt, but then that blew up, so then they voted Matt out instead. And then it was kind of like, well, Flick is the one who's flipping around. We might as well just go to Flick.
Christy voted for Flick. I couldn't remember this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch everything. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's 3-1. Flick goes out here. And then Christy wins, which I think is still the best final challenge. Probably in Survivor history.
6.5 hours with epic camera angles and the waves and the day to night. It was ridiculous on the edge of a rock. Like, when would you ever see that ever again? I don't think you could, because people would complain that, health and safety, they could get swept off and, all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, epic, totally epic. And 6.5 hours. Isn't that the longest final challenge there's been?
I think it's Palau.
Yeah,
where they've been like 11 hours or something like that.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. And I think this one second. 11 hours is ridiculous.
That is bloody. I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty simple challenge, but it literally falls to that concept. Just hold on for dear life, Yeah. Same thing with this. Just literally dig through the pain, right? I mean, I did wish that we got a challenge like that, because it's the OG final challenge. I wish that this was the final challenge of Oz versus the world, sort of like going all the way back to its root stuff. But I mean, we still got a pretty epic challenge. So I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, Christy, what an underdog. Absolutely beautiful to watch, and she's crying to Lee and like Lee, he's really trying to fight for this, and then he falls off and Christy falls off, and it's just like it's peak reality TV. The underdog overcame the top dogs.
And she pleaded, and at the time, even now, people say that Lee stepped down. And she shouldn't have said this and that, and Lee just became weak. Lee fell off. You can see, I've watched it so many times. You can see his foot. He actually gets a bit shaky, and then it slips. It's not as though he stepped down. And what's really annoying is that people don't understand that Christy, although she was pleading, he obviously didn't want to give in. And it's really annoying how the fans skew things around. But you know what? Christy would have stayed there forever. She was a super fan. She watched US Survivor with her dad. They were obsessed with the show, and she wanted to win. Why would you get to that point and not stay up there? And women and endurance challenges, the women tend to come through in the end.
Yeah. I do just want to quickly apologize. Michelle, you might be wondering why the chat's been a little bit quiet. Turns out I'd accidentally set this stream to kids mode.
Seriously?
I just thought I got a message from Gabe, be like, hey Mucky, think your live video is set on kids category for US viewers right now. Can't chat at all, we can just watch. If anyone is watching right now, can you please just try and post a comment, see if it works.
Maybe refresh. Just changed it. Go out and come back in.
Maybe quick try. So.
Mucky, come on. Come on. Oh, look, it's on now. There's Gabe.
Yay! It's on now.
Well, we've been podcasting for nearly an hour, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just hi, Mommy.
There we go. Survivor twist. What the hell? Have you all been watching anyway? Have they been allowed to watch? Are they over 12? Like what the hell?
So I had it on kids mode, and I dropped an F-bomb right at the very start of the podcast.
But you know what? They're probably so frustrated that they couldn't say anything. Look, yes, wish we could have made comments earlier. Yeah, of course.
I didn't even know I put it on kids. How do you even put it onto kids mode? I don't even know. Normally, I just
don't know.
I just don't know. I really don't. I don't know how I thought it was a fake life. I've messaged Michelle 3 times about the chat. Oh, it's even you, Michelle.
But God, I don't have my phone in here so that I can focus on you. If my phone is in here, I don't focus on you. I look at my phone for like Googling stuff that you asked me to. I've actually got Facebook open on a tab at the top. There we go. Sorry.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Oh, God. I do feel really bad about that, actually. Like, we've almost finished recapping the season. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Seriously. All right.
If you have any takes or opinions you want to share about any point throughout the season, just drop them and we'll go back to them, you know.
Can I say that the final 4, their families came over for the finale.
Okay.
So Flick somehow found out that her family was there. And when she was voted off, she wasn't allowed to see them. And it didn't go down well because obviously she's got to stay in Ponderosa, but she obviously feels sad. She misses her family. Her dad is there and he can't see her as well. And so it was all a bit of a kerfuffle because obviously Elle's family's there as well, but no one could see anybody. But they had to get them over in case they made final 2. But I thought it was a bit sad they couldn't at least say hello. Yeah.
Because isn't there like some like American like Ponderosa videos where like the families who were there for a family visit, but obviously the player got voted out just before it were allowed to come to Ponderosa anyways?
Oh, I didn't see that. No, I haven't seen that.
I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, I might be misremembering it, but I'm pretty sure Joe from Heroes vs. Heroes vs. Hustlers, like, I'm pretty sure his family still showed up to Ponderosa just for like a quick hello, and it was in his like Drew filler video. Yeah. And just I'll just quickly read out some of the comments now. Once again, so sorry. Oh lol. Well, the thought was there. The thought was there.
There wasn't much thought there.
Yeah, and pretty much. And I do agree. Christy won that immunity fair and square. Lee was just weak. He was weak in the knees. I should get V to watch that challenge and get a full analysis about all the knees. You know, with Christy's knees, Lee's knees, Elle's knees. You know, Elle dropped out pretty early. Why was her knees weak? You know, just we've got to get V to unravel this mystery. And Mucky and technology equals bad relationship. Honestly, do you want to hear a really funny story? So my computer.
God. Ellen, you caused this.
No, I'll make it quick. So my computer that I have right now, I got in 2020. It was like a gaming, like streaming. Like I didn't think I'd go into podcasting, but my original idea for getting this computer, high graphics card, high storage, and everything was because I got it while I was in film school, right? So it's like, oh, easily I'm going to become the next Taika Waititi making movies every now and then. You know, got to have a good storage unit. You know, obviously that didn't work out so well, and for the past maybe 2 years, I would install one thing and somehow my entire storage is just completely gone. Like it just takes up everything, and then I'd uninstall it, but the storage doesn't go down at all. So then I have to like uninstall everything else, and I'm still struggling with it to this day. It says I've used up like 200 gigabytes. I don't even know what I have on my computer. There's 200 gigabytes.
I don't understand. You need to clear your cookies. You need to do stuff.
I don't know. I should probably do like a hard reset, just wipe everything off the computer.
Well, no, that wouldn't be good because you've got too much stuff on it. You don't want to wipe everything.
True. I've got 200 gigabytes or something.
But I've got 0.5% left on my phone. Do you understand the issues I'm having right now? Like WhatsApp won't turn on. Sometimes Instagram won't let me look at everything. Facebook, oh my God, trying to post something is really hard. Like I need to fix something. Yeah. Anyway,
maybe I should come back to Sydney. I'll come back to Sydney. We'll go to a tech store. Like, look at us. She's got a phone. I got my computer. Look at us twinning out, you know?
All right, go back up. What are we? Oh, there we go.
All right. Well, I wonder how Chrissy's dad felt about her beating Liz. Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Was ecstatic. He loved it. But he knew she could do it. So being super fans, he knew she could beat him.
Yeah. And 100% I think Christy still made a bad move, should have turned on something. Yeah, 100% agree. However, she won, right? And so it's like, while we might think it's a bad move, somehow she made it work. I mean, I felt like that's the story of Christy. She was literally against all odds, and she still pulled out the win. You know? Bloody phenomenal. Flick's move was the best this season. It's been confirmed the entire jury was cheering for Brooke in the game. Well, that makes even more sense why she turned on Brooke. You know, it's the thing that's like, I understood why she turned on Brooke. I think long term, it didn't work out that great for her, but it's because she needed to flip straight away again to turn on the showmats. But, you know, Christy was never going to flip. Lee has never been called weak, lol. He fell as dramatically as possible. I mean, that's what I would do. Have you started watching Squid Game The Challenge yet?
No.
Oh my God, Michelle.
I had reports due today. I can't. I will be binge watching Alice in Borderland, Squid Game The Challenge, Canadian Traders. As soon as I get off work in 2 weeks. 2.5.
Oh my God, it's exciting. But something that's really funny in the Squid Game is when the players get eliminated, they've got like a squid ink on their shirt, and that's meant to be like the blood. And so it'd just be like, poof, like this black ink, and they go, and they just dramatically die. It's great.
I did vote for someone because someone apparently is in the LRG community, and someone else told me to vote for him for season 3. So I voted for.
You voted for Mark?
Number 110. I don't know who
that
is.
Okay, never mind. No, 110 did not make the top 5. The top 5 got released for who should come back for season 3. You know, I'll make a short video on that because very exciting picks. I don't want to spoil anything for Michelle, so we're not going to talk about it here. Nick, I loved he just played the season like a modern US Survivor. He didn't anticipate this cast would be old school Survivor. A bunch of recruits who didn't know the show's history overseas. Yeah, that was kind of his downfall. But I still remember his poem. Was it what is it? Near a throne for a king, an idol will be found, and immunity will bring. I forgot like the first sentence, but yeah, crazy. And Michelle's fancy phone with
I don't have a fancy phone. Actually, you know what? It's got a sparkly purple case, but that's as fancy as it gets. Like, I need to upgrade. I haven't done anything. Yeah, I like sparkles.
Yeah. Anyway. And Michelle will have to watch for Mucky. This seems promising. And what's crazy if the showmans did reach the end, Purple L, was she purpled? I guess a wee bit, like during like the middle section, yeah. But yeah, Elle would have actually won. She's been called the social queen of that pair. Yeah, I definitely do think Elle, especially now that we've seen 2 seasons of Lee, Elle is definitely the more strategic partner of that duo, and I think she was obviously I think Lee always had Christy, and Lee always had Sam, but I think Elle was more connected on a strategic kind of level, whereas I think Lee's really good at connecting on like a personal kind of level. But
I only think that the only person that could have come up against Christy in the final tribal council would have been someone like Nick. The only one who could have equaled in a speech, probably. And then you don't know what Nick would have done by the end anyway. But, you know, with enough information, back information, how, you know, you can actually win over a jury. A lot of them were a bit green.
Yeah. And Al convincing Chrissy not to flip was great. I mean, it's just mind-blowing, just flicking Chrissy, sit down with Al. Hey, man. Hey, mate. I just want to let you know that we're thinking of flipping on you tonight. No hard feelings, just we're thinking of it. And I was just like, well, no, don't flip. Okay, you know, we're not going to flip. You know, it's almost saying like, hey, Michelle, I'm going to rob you tonight, but I might not. If you convince me not to rob you, I may not rob you, but it'll be a long trip to try and rob you. Yeah, it's a long swim to get from here to
exactly.
But Yeah,
and then we're at Final Tribal. Final Tribal.
Final Tribal was beautiful.
Which, can I say, is the most watched Final Tribal online currently.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't surprise me. You know, like, obviously, like, Lee's like, yeah, I'm just a straight up dude. And then Chrissy, she's dropping all these facts, all these strategies. Like, to me, it kind of came across she lied about some things. Like, obviously, you're friends with Chrissy. Was Chris intentionally making things up to make the jury turn?
No, she literally went through 20 tribal councils.
26, I think.
Survived.
Yeah. I think it was 26, I think. Yeah. Was it 26 or 20?
20. Yeah. Like, that's crazy, especially when you're on the bottom and, you know, you can get taken out at any point. And the amount of stress going through to a tribal and worrying that you're going to be gone. And she had that 20 times. Like, that's crazy. And 2 whole tribes went before her. Like, I just think it's amazing considering that, you know, it started with 3 tribes instead of 2.
Yeah.
And that speech, and literally the Australian public went into tribal council. There was so much backing for Lee. Lee should win. There wasn't enough of a knowledge base of a quiet game, under the radar game, you know. And when she did that first speech, and even I didn't have faith at the time. And I listened to that first opening comment and I just went.
Yeah, I've got
no one was in the room with me, or maybe my husband was there, but I was like, I couldn't talk. I'm like, oh my God, she's going to win this straight away.
Yeah, I have the opening speech right here, actually. I found it on Reddit. Let's give it a good old cheeky geese.
And then she went home. Coming to this final merge, my goal was to ensure that I could get out everyone from the Val and everyone from Sinapu. And that's what happened. It was extraordinary to see how it unfolded. At each stage, I should have been going home. My name was thrown around constantly. I have had to fight my way through 20 tribal councils.
20.
Yeah.
Every single tribal, I've had hate coming towards me and I've had to move it. And it's because of that strategy. I went through the entire game to 20 tribal councils and knew who was going home every single time. In the end,
Crazy.
I was able to get through 2 whole tribes. Who in Survivor can say that? I can.
Look at Lee's face. It's like, okay, I obviously don't know what to say here.
Yeah.
Or how to respond. And that was a mic drop moment. And there's hardly ever been a tribal council speech. I don't think there's been a better tribal council speech. Like, that was insane, considering it was coming from someone who nobody thought was going to win. And then that happened. And I spent the rest of the tribal going. I literally had my mouth open, listening to the questions and the answers that they were giving and thinking, it doesn't matter what Lee says right now. You can just be quiet. Yeah. It's not happening for you. And then she won. And Lee only had 1 vote. Like,
yeah, from Al.
Yeah, his girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, are they? No, they're not together anymore, right?
No, they're not together.
Yeah. And Christy did bullshit here. She owned stuff that she didn't actually do. However, she said what the jury wanted. Yeah, I think the jury was just.
You don't see everything. We don't see everything. You've got to take that with a grain of salt, because we see a small amount of what actually happens. So unless you're actually in the game, sorry, Gabe, unless you're in the game, unless you're Flick, unless you're Elle and can say, no, she didn't do that, it's really difficult for us to say it with any truth.
Yeah. You know? I think Christy's game is obviously a very quiet one. And, with what she said was true, that she knew exactly every single person that's going to be, going home pretty much throughout the entire game. And I think it's just one where she was just heavily overlooked, right? With like Lee, with Al, with Flick doing her thing, with Nick doing his thing. You know what I mean? She was just so easily overlooked. Like, oh, who should the split vote be? Oh, just throw it under Christy. You know what I mean? So I think it's almost like as if Laurel in Ghost Island was to come out of nowhere with this amazing speech on why she played a way better game than Dominic and Wendell. You know what I mean? I think people were expecting to vote for Lee, just naturally. But, like once Christy started talking, I think people were like, shit, maybe I do vote for Christy. You get what I mean? And Shannon Gus, legendary Shannon Gus, has said that if you're at the end, like Christy, play it up. If your competition is like Lee and they can't own stuff, capitalize on it and use whatever to get your 100%. 100%.
Capitalize on what you have, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like we even kind of saw it with the Parvati and Luke showdown in Australia vs. the World, right? But obviously, Luke was quite nervous, his first ever time at a final tribal, whereas with Parvati, she's been to final tribal like twice before. She knows how to talk to juries, and I think you could really tell with the experience, Parvati was just eating Luke up. I think Luke's greatest move was getting Parvati to take up the advantage, but right in front of him, she turned that move against Luke as a reason why she should win over him. Just from that experience, and Chrissy did pretty much the exact same thing with Lee as well. And hot take, people praise challenge beasts. Doesn't losing so many challenges mean you should be unpraised?
No.
I mean, there are many different types of
different games.
I guess exactly. Many different games.
I literally never win challenges in an org. Like, I don't win, but I can get to the end. Like, why would you be unpraised? It's a different kind of game. I don't care about winning challenges. If my social game is right up there, I don't need to win a challenge. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And winning challenges is great, but it's basically if you really need something to stay in the game like an idol because you're not playing well enough, that's something you have to do.
I do think that there's a lot of power in winning immunity challenges as well. I know for me personally, if I was to ever play Survivor, I would only try and make a move if I had individual immunity. Like if I wanted to do some crazy flip, I'd only do it while wearing the necklace.
But that's okay for that round. But if you've made a move against me, I'll never forget it, and I'll remember for the second or the third round. So you better win a challenge again.
Well, that's why I'm taking you out, so you're on the jury, and I'll be there doing this to you the whole time.
There are many women like me who would just come for you.
Well, I am the social. My last name is Hope. I'm sure I can.
Yes, Hope. Yeah.
But yeah, I and. Yeah,
really I agree with Gabe's last comment here.
With Shannon and Gus.
No, the last one.
Oh, Survivor Twists.
No, the last Gabe comment.
So I didn't even see it. Sorry. Even if tonight was not my night. Technology. Nothing was showing up. I just had to scroll down just one slight thing. But yes, even if your opponent has a better resume, if they're fumbling, just argue better.
Yeah, 100%. You just need to show that you can put stuff forward and argue better. That's the problem, Gabe. I'm not good at that at the final tribal. I'm not good at showing what I've done. And yeah, if you're not good at that, the other person wins. And yeah, that's what happened to me.
See, that's how I would also win against you as well. I'll just start talking shit. Actually, it was a really quick, funny story.
Yes, Gabe, I would be. Sorry.
So I love my manager at work, right? She's great. She's funny. She's amazing, right? But sometimes she doesn't quite get my jokes. And sometimes that frustrates me because my jokes are trying to rage bait her, right? but she doesn't even understand what I'm talking about. So that gets me frustrated. But sometimes I just go with it and I just talk more shit and it'll confuse her. For example, just tidying up the section.
why you've been hired.
Yeah. Well, it's all Hamish's fault, right? He's the one that hired me. But literally, she was tidying up a section and she was like, oh, it's so messy. I was like, it can't be messy. He's in Argentina. Like the football player. And her response was, what's Argentina?
What?
Yeah. And so she's like a few years older than me, but like I think she was trying to understand the joke. So she thought I meant Argentina by something else. But it's all about the country. So then I just went with it being like, no, Argentina is like this mystical land. It's, just like Atlantis. It never existed. And she was like, no, it's a country.
But you must have a larger knowledge base than she does.
Not really, no.
No.
You really think I've got a large knowledge base? I didn't even know how to scroll down.
You do.
To read Gabe's comments.
You know obscure facts, weird stories.
Sure. I do have a lot of weird stories.
Yeah. I don't think we should share the weird stories.
No. Probably not. But and then I just went on a whole rant about how Argentina's not a country because Auckland is not a country, and if Argentina's a country, then so is Auckland. And she just got so confused. So that's all I would do as Final Tribal. I'll just keep talking shit.
Yeah.
And just hope I win. But I guess going back to the season though, Michelle, Christy hasn't come back. I know that there was rumors out there that she dropped out at the last minute for Heroes versus Villains. Obviously, if you can't say anything, that's perfectly understandable. But has Christy wanted to come back?
No, she's won.
No, she's won. She doesn't want to come back, try again at all. Or
why would you want to come back and possibly not win? If you leave on a high and win, you've done it. She fulfills the goal. I think a lot of the men come back again who've won it because, who's been back that's won it? Just David.
Jericho, Haley, Shane.
Because Shane's coming back now.
I know Shane and Jericho came back for All Stars. Haley came back for Heroes
yes.
David came back for.
We've
only had 4 returning players as winners.
Yeah. I personally wouldn't want to come back if I'd won.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to tarnish your record? Unless you're going to win again, and that's rare.
And also, to be fair with you, the chances of you winning are 1 in 10 million, just because your game is just so bad compared to mine. So I would win all the other times, to win twice.
But it's hard. It's hard to get to the end.
Yeah. And only reason to come back if you're Christy is to improve legacy like Michelle and Winners at War. Because to be fair, most winner rankings, Christy's at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Totally don't agree with that. Just because it's not a flash big move game, that does not mean you're at the bottom of the rankings. Yeah, people love moves and people who are exciting and just make good TV. But I don't think they're obviously the best winners.
Yeah. I think in most cases this season, Christy, she does make it to the end, whether or not it's with Lee and Al or with another group. I think in a lot of cases, especially post-merge, she does end up either close to the end or at the very end, where she get players like a Miles. And this isn't shit talking Miles, but the game he played to get to the end was the only way I think he could have gotten to the end. I think in any other cast, any other scenarios, he's out, potentially even pre-merge.
Very scary game he played.
Very scary. I mean, entertaining. I loved it, but yeah.
But just a scary sort of game.
Yeah. And,
Gabe says you win. Yes, you do win, you 100%. Win. But to put her ranking down the bottom is not correct. Yeah, of course you win. Yeah.
Can't say. I would go and check to see what the next season we're talking about is. Literally have a message from Brendan. And it won't let me comment. Say something about YouTube for kids from early in the live. We always had him on for Sue's big move, but I stuffed it. I'm sorry, Brendan. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, Brendan. You're amazing. But
you missed something you could have done.
I really did. I really cocked this one up. How would you, just while I find out what season we're talking about next, Michelle, how would this cock up rank against the time I accidentally ended the Amazing the Amazing Race live? Just trying.
I think it equals. I think it equals that. Equals, mm-hmm. When suddenly it was gone. No, actually, when was the time that I had to speak by myself? That wasn't with you?
Oh, you did that once with V, and then another time we were chatting with Ferris about Kirby, and I had to evacuate the building because of the fire alarm.
Yeah. It was with V, where I had to podcast by myself, which was just insane. Yeah. They're all equal par.
Well, Michelle, we've reached the end of our live here, and I want you to take a guess. What is the next season we're going to be talking about?
I can't remember. I don't have my phone with me. I would have put this up at number 6 actually now.
Number 6.
I don't know what I moved down, but I would have. Yeah. What's coming next? What are we up to? Is it
number 8?
Oh, we've done champions versus contenders, haven't we? 1.
The first one, yes.
We've done blood versus water, and this is it. Is it? God, the bush one.
The bush one.
The bush. In Australia. COVID? Is it COVID one?
Oh, Brains versus Brawn 1. You are really close. It's Brains versus Brawn 2.
2, okay.
The most recent newbie cast of Australian Survivor, Brains versus Brawn 2, is number 8 on our season rankings. Make sure you tune in next week to see us chat all about that season, and we may even have a special guest joining us.
We don't know what day this is on, though, do we? This is not Wednesday.
I'll post it on Wednesday. Yeah, but unfortunately, we won't be live for this next one. The Bush Michelle, November 2025. Yes, whenever we reach Francis Brawn 1, I'll tell it with the Bush.
I was up at Cloncurry.
And what's it? One final comment here from Gabe. I do think the season is personally at the bottom for me. The merge only has flick flip pre-merge was fun at least. Yeah, great pre-merge. It's almost opposite of Champions vs Contenders 1, where slow pre-merge with some exciting moments, and then the post-merge is great. This season, the pre-merge is great, and the post-merge has, I feel like more fun moments than the pre-merge of Champions vs Contenders 1, and that's why I think this one edged out Champions vs Contenders, and Mateship Agenda that ran the first half of merge was annoying. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, Michelle, anything cheeky or naughty that you've been up to?
God, finishing reports. Is that naughty?
That's so naughty, my God.
Nice. It could have been naughty. God, nothing. Oh, I went to the Domain, which is a very big park in Sydney on Sunday, and literally sang show tunes for 6 hours.
That is pretty cheeky.
Is it cheeky?
Yeah. I think it's pretty cheeky.
Lots of drag queens there. It was lots of fun, but yeah, that was my biggest thing of the week.
This didn't happen recently, but have I told you about the time I got chased down by a drag queen?
No.
Okay, clearly not. Okay, so for context, I live right.
Still.
So for context, I live right next to a street called K Road, which is most famous for your clubbing. They're like strip clubs, like pubs and stuff like that. It's like that kind of street, right? It's very, it used to be a very dodgy street, a lot of homeless stuff, a lot of like weird, dangerous stuff happening. But thankfully, it's calmed down a lot now, mostly because the big dog showed up. I brought authority and security back to, it's all a lot of shit. But anyways, I went into I went into this bar. It was a gay bar, actually, but I didn't really know that at the time. And I was obviously a fish out of water. Like, I stuck out like a sore thumb, you know. And there's a whole drag show going on. I loved it. I thought it was great. But some of the drag queens could see me and saw that I was just like, you know, on my own, just having fun, having some drinks and stuff, sort of just like checking out what the place was. So one of them decided to come down towards me and wanted to, like, you know, just chat, just dance, have fun and stuff like that, you know, just for, you know, just to have fun. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good, thank you. I'm good, honestly. And basically I went to this other part of the club and the drag queen followed me through all around this club. There's like 2 floors to it. The drag queen even followed me down to the bottom floor.
Right.
Just so that I had a friend. And I've never gone back to that club. It was traumatizing.
That's very cute.
Yes. So that's my Cheeky Naughty Times. In terms of what's coming out, V, Drew, and Jake are still talking about American Survivor season 49, the season that everyone is pretending to care about right before season 50. Myself, Kahuna, and The Vault will be back on Sunday to talk about the Squid Game finale, the grand finale of Squid Game, The Challenge. I might make a small video about the 5 potential returning players for season 3 of Squid Game, The Challenge. Plus, on top of all this, recently I got together with our boy Sam Smith, not the singer, to discuss the Celebrity Traders UK phenomenal season. It's just, wow, beautiful. Loved it. And then on top of that, but wait, there's more. Sam and I will be getting together at some point because there's a rumor out there, Michelle, that we're going to be getting our first ever Traders All-Star cast for UK.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So are they just bringing UK people back?
Yeah, so it's just people who have previously played Traders UK. First ever one, like globally, fun. Right? Obviously, we've had
what do you mean globally?
Like first ever
one
returning.
Globally. Yes, I understand. Okay.
Because obviously we've had America and Australia with like reality TV all stars returning to that. But what about like the players in the Traders franchise coming back to play? So that'll be really exciting. And yes, Gabe, the finale's already out. I actually watched it just before this live, actually. So it's a good one. Strongly recommend. But yeah, I've been your host, Mucky Hope. Tune in next Wednesday for when we talk about Brands versus Brawn 2. I've been your host, Mucky Hope. Ka kite anō, everyone. Now catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye.